Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Soggy Kookaburra podcast. This is my little place on the internet where I get to talk about all my knitting and crochet adventures. Today is the 2nd of September. I can't believe summer's almost over. My name's Taffy. I'm coming to you from a small town in North Wales where I live with my husband, our teenage son, and our 2 cats, Pickle and Puka. And you can actually see Puka up there in her favourite spot on top of the wardrobe. She may or may not come down. If it's your first time joining me, welcome aboard the crafty train. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. So, I've been really busy the last, 4 weeks? And that I really hope Puka's not going to be too disruptive. So I've got quite a few finished objects, and I've got a bunch of new cast-ons, and I've got some pretty impressive stash enhancements as well this time. So I think we should just crack on. I'll just grab my coffee. It's a Minions mug. I've stolen it from my husband because all mine are in the dishwasher. Rightio, let's crack on then. So, finished objects. I've got 3 finished objects again this episode. So first up, Stuart's socks. So these have been on the needles probably the longest of all the socks I've ever actually knitted. Partially because they're just really big, and partially, I actually don't know why they took me so long, but they did. But they're finished now. So this is in West Yorkshire Spinners yarn in the Peacock colourway. It's just a long leg vanilla sock. You can see beautiful, beautiful patterns. He's tried it on, fits a treat. He actually tried them on for me when I finished them. So there's 2, I haven't just done one. There's 2 socks. He tried them on for me and they fit beautifully, but he's now not allowed to try them on again until he gets them for Christmas. So yeah, and I've managed to somehow actually match them up fairly closely as well, which is probably more good luck than good management. But hey ho, I mean, it doesn't really bother me if they don't match exactly. I mean, I like it if they do, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it if they don't. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. So these are a UK size 12, which is not small, but yeah, really, really pleased to have these off the needles, and they can go into my box for Christmas presents. So yeah, so that's really, really pleased with that, and more importantly, Stu's quite pleased with them. So yeah, really chuffed with them. Second finished object is another pair of socks. So last episode I made and finished a pair of socks and a matching beanie for my best friend's mum. So I decided I couldn't leave his dad out and made him a pair of socks as well. So here they are. Really, again, just a mid-length vanilla sock pattern, nothing fancy, because the yarn, I think, speaks for itself. It's, I don't know whether it's showing true to colour. I actually think it's a bit dull, but my colour vision's not the best. So other people have said it's really lovely. It's appropriately manly. Yeah, so I'm, again, really, really pleased with how they've come out. Now this is Lion brand Sockhead yarn in the colourway Taffy, which really made me giggle because Taffy is, if you don't know, a colloquial nickname for Welshmen. I don't know where it came from, and I only learned it from watching many, many episodes of Dad's Army. But there you are. So yeah, really, really pleased. Another Christmas present off the needles, done, ready to go into my box of gifts. And I really hope he likes them. I had to take a bit of a guess on his shoe size, but you know, there's a bit of negative ease in them. So, you know, if it's a little small or a little big, I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, another one. So that's 2 pairs of socks in a month finished, which is not bad going, especially for me. And then my final finished object for this episode is another Sockhead hat. So this one, it's a bit sparkly. You would have seen me working on it last episode. It's based on the slouchy beanie hat by McClure in the medium size, this one, but I've not made it as slouchy as the pattern suggests, simply because I personally don't like having too much bulk at the back. So it's a medium size, which means it's a really good fit. And see, it's a little bit slouchy, but it's not too slouchy. It's lovely. I was a bit worried that the stellina in it, the sparkle in it, would make it a bit scratchy, but you know what, it doesn't. So happy days. I'm not sure, this is going to be a gift. I'm not 100% certain who that gift is going to be for at this stage, because I've got a few plans, and depending on time, basically time, will depend on if all of those plans come to fruition. So good backup and another gift. So yeah, I'm really quite pleased with it. So that yarn, by the way, is Las Vegas Superwash, and it is in the Colourway 006, which is not very exciting colourway name. I've just called this my monochrome hat for fairly obvious purposes. And that used about 50 grams of this yarn. It's a sock weight yarn, so it comes up with a lovely fabric. Okay, so they're my 3 finished objects. And I'm really quite chuffed with them. My little pile of goodies is growing. Sorry, my notes have just fallen, so hey ho, I'll have to wing it. Okie doke. Look at that little pussycat up there. Just having a bath. The other one may come in as well. He's been all over me this morning, which is why I'm covered in cat hair. Works in progress. Okay, so I've gone a bit mad on the works in progress thing. I did have quite a few plans, which I mentioned last episode. And I've cracked on and started a lot of those. So I think we'll just, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 works in progress that I have actively been working on. They're by no means the only works in progress I have, but there's quite a few languishing whips which are just tucked away for the moment, because I firmly believe that this is my hobby, and if I don't fancy doing something, I don't do it. So I just work on what I fancy. So first up, last episode I mentioned that I was going to make a pair of socks for my son for Christmas. He chose the yarn, and I think I've shown you a couple of times that. It's another West Yorkshire Spinners yarn. And this is, I haven't got my sock blockers at the moment. They're in the cupboard behind me, and I don't think I'm going to bother trying to find them. So this is the first one. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature Cocktail Range, and the colour is Blue Lagoon. Now this sock, I decided to try a ribbed sock, which I've not done a ribbed sock before. And I'll tell you what, I think it's my new favourite type of sock, because particularly in the foot, because the top part of it is ribbed, it just gives it a bit more stretch, which I had a bit of a disaster with these. I made them size 10, which when Sebastian chose this yarn, he had a size 10 foot, so logically. Anyway, so I made it, and I asked him to try it on, and he tried it on, and you know what? It was too small. It was too small, and I almost cried, because I am rubbish at unpicking knitting. Crochet all day long, I don't have a problem with frogging crochet, but knitting, I'm forever losing stitches, and it's not good. But I didn't want to re-knit an entire sock, so I bit the bullet. I had to put it in the naughty corner for just a couple of days until I could resolve myself and steel myself to unpick it. But I did. So I ended up unpicking all of the toe and picking up the stitches, and then I had to do like another 15 rows or rounds, I suppose. And to be honest, you can see it's a little bit just along here. It's not a perfect pickup. It really isn't. And I'm a bit disappointed in that, but I think after it's been washed and worn, this sort of yarn does tend to, not felt, but it squidges up together a bit, so I think you won't notice. So yeah, I had to re-knit, add about 10, I can't remember if it was 10 or 15 rows, and then redo the toe. He tried it on again, perfect fit. So I am just hoping that his foot does not grow even more between now and Christmas. It might be a vain hope, but these are ever so slightly too big, so even if they aren't perfect fit right now, they will be by Christmas. But that puts my 14-year-old son's foot size at 11. And keep in mind that his dad, who is not a short man, has size 12 feet. So he's going to have big feet. But anyway, so that's one down. I'm really chuffed with the colourway. I love this. It's so funky. And he really likes them. He wanted to keep this one on. I said, well, I haven't made a second one. He said, I don't care. I want to keep it on. No, sorry. Mean mum. So yeah, that's one down. I haven't even started the second one because I kind of cast on some other stuff. But yeah, so that's one down. Watch this space because they are Christmas presents for Seb. So they need to, and that's living in one of my toiletries bags. So that's that one. And then I did say to Seb that he could have a matching beanie to go with his socks. So I've started that. I've got to be honest, the beanie's not my favourite things to knit. Oops, it's all tangled up, but never mind. But I have started. The stripes always look different on the beanies, obviously, because it's a longer round. This is in the small size because they do stretch so much. And he hasn't got a big head, particularly, just an average size head. So I have started his Sockhead hat. Again, Kelly McClure. The link, and in fact, all the patterns and yarn that I'm talking about will be in the description bar below. So if you want more information, you can either message me or have a look down below, and there's links to Ravelry patterns and all sorts. So yeah, that's the Sockhead hat thus far. To be honest, it's such easy, mindless knitting that it's perfect for in front of the telly, or if I'm waiting in an appointment, or yeah, the only thing I haven't done is take it to work because yeah, I don't know that would go down so well. And that is being kept in this really funky sparkly blue bag. That seems to be my beanie bag because Stuart's beanie Sockhead hat was made, well, that's where it was living before I finished it, and I think Marina's was as well. So that's my Sockhead hat bag. So that's work in progress number 2. Now number 3, this is what I hinted at last episode. So last episode, if you recall, I was a bit naughty, and I picked up this lovely Opal sock yarn in Sunrise, and I think the number was 9442. And I said, Sunrise, pfft, whatever, it's watermelon, isn't it? It's got the greens, it's got the pinks, it's got the deeper red, it's got the light lime green. Watermelon socks. And I said last time that I had a particular person in mind when I started knitting these up. And that is my very best friend from back home from Australia, Belle. She's a crafter like me, and we've been friends for, oh crikey, 2 decades? Long time. So long that neither of us can remember who's the bad influence. Anyway, watermelons always make me think of Belle because when we lived together in Sydney, or lived near each other in Sydney, we would often meet up with the family at one of our houses, and we would do these big fruit platters in the summer, fruit and cheese and crackers and, all the good stuff. And tropical fruit, particularly watermelons, mangoes, that sort of thing, are in abundance and beautiful over there. So the amount of watermelon that we've probably eaten over the years is significant. Anyway, I'm moving on, I'm rambling, apologies. Watermelon socks for my dear friend Belle. I've not gotten a huge way into them thus far. Again, these are just vanilla socks. I was thinking about doing a rib on these, but I love the yarn so much and I really didn't want anything to distract from it. I think they're fabulous. I love the colours. And I just think they're watermelon, but not like super strict watermelon, because I have seen some watermelon yarns and they're gorgeous, but this is kind of more watermelon inspired, shall we say. But yeah, absolutely love them. So I don't know, probably got another 5 or 10 rows to go until I start the heel. And I'm hoping to have these done for Christmas, which is laughable really, because Christmas in Sydney is really, really hot and she won't need them until the following winter. But hey ho, any excuse to gift socks, that's my mantra really. So yeah, really, really chuffed for that. So yeah, they are watermelon socks by Opal called Sunrise. Next work in progress. Now these next 2 are quite similar, but also quite different. So I'll start off, this is my selfish knitting. I decided that I really did need to make some more socks for me, because I love my hand knitted socks, and for some reason, I don't know, I don't end up making many for myself. So I made myself the first of two, obviously, rainbow socks with contrasting purple heel and toe. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners. Again, don't have shares in the company, just love the yarn. Ribbed sock. I told you it was becoming my new favourite. And it's in the cocktail range. Rum Paradise is the colourway. And really, really pleased with how it comes out. The contrasting yarn is just that random purple ball that I used for Marina's socks. Yeah, still going. So yeah, it matches perfectly. You could say, well, almost perfectly. It matches well enough. So yeah, absolutely love this. They fit a treat, and they're long socks because I do like my socks quite long. Yeah, just really chuffed with them, really. I haven't started the second one because, and this takes me on to my last work in progress, I posted a photograph of this singular sock on my foot saying, "Woo, yay, selfish knitting." And somebody that I know messaged me and said, "I would really, really like a pair of those socks." And I'm like, okay, well, normally I don't do commissions. I don't sell my socks, if you like, simply because you could never get what they were worth. And anybody who's done any handcraft knitting or crochet or anything will recognize that the amount of time that goes into it, it's not even the cost of the materials, it's the amount of time that goes into making something. You could never make that back. But she asked so nicely, and I love this yarn so much that I agreed. So let me just pop that back in. Oh, my socks, by the way, living in this fabulous quilted project bag that I got from my dear friend Emma at Christmas. Anyway, so yeah, I'm making a second pair of the rainbow socks. Now these ones, I decided, just for a change, not to do the contrasting heel and toe. And do you know what? I love it. I love how it's come out. Because I do the heel flap and gusset, the striping just, oh, it just makes me so happy. I mean, it's just, I love it. I just love it. And these are coming out really, really well. Yeah, I just love this yarn. I'm going to have to get more rainbow striped yarn, I think, even though, let's be honest, I do not need more yarn. I love it. I love the colours. Anyway, so I'm about that far down on the first sock. And again, I'm doing this lovely ribbed pattern. It just gives me that bit of confidence that if I don't get the sizing quite right, especially if I can't try it on them while I'm making it, it just gives me a bit more confidence that it will stretch to fit. So yeah, there you go. Rum Paradise, West Yorkshire Spinners. And a lovely, another rainbow sock yarn. The other thing that I really like actually about this ribbed sock pattern, and this particular ribbed sock pattern is by Kate Atherley Designs, which is, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. So if you fancy trying something a bit different that's not actually difficult, try that. But I really like the way that the little cuff at the top kind of rolls over, and then you get this, and I've sort of worked it so that it's this bright green right at the top before it goes into the blue, or bright greeny yellow. I really like that. I just think it's a bit different anyway. So yeah, that's my little commission project. So that's what I'm working on at the moment, and probably what I will work on for the rest of today. And that's living in my little proper project bag from Hobby Gift. And yeah, so very busy with the works in progress side of things, which is always good. Keeps me from getting bored. Now I forgot to mention, sorry, more coffee. It's still quite early in the morning today. I forgot to mention that earlier in the episode, at the top of the episode, that you can find me on Ravelry or Instagram, or both, as Soggy Kookaburra. So please feel free to find me on there. Say hello. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, comment if you want on this video as well. It always gives me a real thrill to see comments. And if you haven't already, by all means subscribe. And if you want to know when I upload another video, which is about every month, there's a little bell icon just down next to the subscribe button. If you click on that, you'll get a little notification saying that I've uploaded yet more of my ramblings. So on to the very exciting stash enhancement. I came home from work a couple of weeks ago and there was a big package sitting on my dining table that had been delivered that day. And I wasn't expecting anything. I hadn't ordered anything. I was like, okay. I had a look and it was from my very dear friend Emma over in the USA. And so I picked it up and I gave it a bit of a squidge. And I thought, oh, she's been naughty. She's bought me yarn. And sure enough, she had. And she had bought me not only some yarn, but some other lovely gifts as well. But as this is a primarily knitting and crochet podcast, I will just show you the yarn. I got some pretty amazing bits and pieces that I cannot get with ease over here. So I'm absolutely chuffed to bits. Let me start. So first up, I got 2 balls of sock yarn from Premier Yarns. This is the Deborah Norville. Now I have knit with this yarn before, though not this colourway. This is Woodsy Green is the colourway, and it's, yeah, I think you can probably see reasonably well. It's lovely and soft. Stu's first socks were made out of this yarn in a grey colour, and it is the softest yarn I have ever worked with, and it's because it is primarily superwash merino, 50% superwash merino, 25% rayon from bamboo, and 25% nylon. And that bamboo fibre, oh, it's ever so soft. Ever so soft. So these are just lovely, and I love the colour. You know, sort of quite, well, woodsy green. Clues in the name, isn't it? Really pretty. That's upside down. So yeah, really, really chuffed with that. So that's 100 grams there, which is obviously enough to make a pair of socks. But these are going to go into my special yarn. But in fact, all of this yarn might go into my special yarn pile because I really want to make, you know, these specifically for a purpose, not just random knitting. To be fair, most of my knitting is pretty specific, but anyhow. And then I also got, oh, she spoiled me. She knows me so well. Patterns Croy sock yarn. 2 balls, 50 grams each. And this is called Tourmaline Stripes. Now I've not knit, I don't think, with Patterns Croy before. But this is really lovely. Again, it's these beautiful greys. I quite like the greys. And it's a self-striping yarn. And it is, let's see, 75% washable wool and 25% nylon. And it's lovely and squishy. It's a really squishy yarn. Sometimes sock yarns can be a bit firm, I guess, in the ball. But maybe because these are 50 gram balls as well, they're lovely and squishy. So yeah, they're going to be lovely. I might make these for myself because I think grey striping socks, they're just so versatile, aren't they? So there's those. And then, oh my word, look at all of these. So all of these are Perfect Pair from Loops and Threads. They're wool-free sock yarn. And that's really exciting because I do know some people, including my dear friend Emma, who have a bit of a reaction sometimes to wool. It's not uncommon, especially superwash wool, probably because of the way it's treated. It can be a little irritant on the skin, or a little irritating on the skin. Anyway, so these have all got, let's see, 70% acrylic, 23% viscose from bamboo, and 7% polyester. And they are designed as sock yarns, which makes me think they are probably going to breathe fairly well. Normally you'd sort of say, well, you don't really want acrylic for sock yarns because they don't let your feet breathe like a natural fibre would, and they make your feet, you know, smell funky. But I think with the bamboo in them, I'm gonna assume there's a good reason they're sock yarns, and yeah, they're going to work out really well. So this colourway is called Secret Garden, and they are self-striping, but they're designed so when you make them, that's not going to focus, but they are designed to match, hence, you know, perfect pair. I've never done perfect pair style socks. There's another brand as well that you can get over in the UK that does like perfect pairs. So I'm really excited to try these. So that's Secret Garden. Then we've got, what's this colourway called? Drive All Night. Now this one, you're probably not going to be able to see the tonal variations very well, but it's got lovely purples and like a pale pink and a dusky rose and a bit of, it's not black, it's coming up black on screen, but it's not, it's a really deep dusky green. I can't wait to see how they come out actually. Really looking forward to it. I love self-striping yarn for that reason, because it's a bit of a surprise. You can't really tell how something's going to come out on the ball, particularly these amazing patterned self-striping yarns. Like with the Stu's ones, they're the same, you know, they've got this amazing pattern. You couldn't tell from the ball. So yeah, so that's Drive All Night. And then we've got, what's this one called? River. That's lovely as well. It's coming up very bright on the camera. It's actually a lot more subtle in real life. It's got sort of blues and greens and aquamarines and like a really stormy grey colour. It's coming up, I think, a bit purple on camera, but that's like a really stormy grey colour. It is very oceany, rivery, you know, watery. That's lovely. And then this one, which is Cadillac, Pink Cadillac, for obvious reasons. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I just, all these new, I've been itching to cast on. I'm like, no, I must wait so that I can show everybody on my podcast before I cast on. And to be honest, I actually don't have any, I don't think I have any sock needles free at the moment. So I need to finish up some of my works in progress so I can cast on one of these gorgeous balls. It's amazing. And again, it's got to be the bamboo in it. Lovely and smooth and really defined strands. It just, you know, it's not going to snag, it's not going to split. It's really beautifully, maybe tight twisted is a good, I don't know, I don't really know the terms, but you know, amazing. Love that. Now that's Pink Cadillac. And then this one, I suspect my mum ironically would like this one. It's called Walk Like a Man, but this is all very autumnal. It's very much my mum's colours. Again, it's not quite showing true to colour on camera, but it's quite autumnal. It's browns and sort of khaki greens, and there's a little bit of dark blue in there. So that's lovely. Walk Like a Man. They could be man socks, but they could be anybody's socks. I don't discriminate. People can have socks whatever colour they like. And then last but by no means least, for the perfect pair socks, these are Glory Days is the colourway. Look at that, purples, greens, blues, there's a bit of peach in there. It's a really lovely aqua colour. There's a bit of red, there's a bit of everything. Glory Days indeed. Love it. So I am absolutely gasping to cast these on, but I must be disciplined and I must finish some of my other projects, because otherwise I'll just buy more sock needles and then it all ends badly. And then last but not least, a particularly special gift from Emma. This is an indie dyed yarn. Now I don't have a lot of indie dyed yarn. Partially it's a cost thing, and partially I think it's a bit that I don't feel like my knitting is good enough yet to justify the beautiful hand-dyed indie yarns that I see online and in shops. So when I got this, I'm just going to show it to you. I thought, I don't even want to unskein it, and I'm not going to, because I'll never get it back looking like this. But this is just glorious. It is all my colours. I'm not sure what weight it is. It says 480 yards. It's an American, it's a company called Frolicking Feet. It's 100% made in the US. It is machine washable, so it's obviously Superwash merino. And it says 6 to 8 stitches on 2 to 4 size needles. I don't really know what weight it is. It might be a sock yarn, but it might be a sport weight, which is just ever so slightly thicker than a sock yarn, but not so thick as like a DK. But this, I mean, whatever this grows up to be is going to be something truly epic, because this, I mean, it's just, it's my colours, it's soft, it's really, really soft. So you could, you know, I could do like a shawl or something. This is going to be something really, really special, because it is beautiful, and every time I look at it, I squidge it and smell it, because that's what we do, us crazy knitters, we sniff yarn. And it's just beautiful, and it's got the most glorious colours. It is, I should probably tell you, the colour name is Plum Tree. And I can see that, you know, it's kind of bluey purples and greens, and there's a bit of aqua in there. It's absolutely stunning. So blessed to receive such a lovely gift from my friend Emma. And I know that I basically just sent her a big text message going, oh my goodness, you're amazing, I can't believe it. So yeah, thank you very much, Emma. That is just very, very kind of you. So anyway, I think I have probably rambled on long enough. It's getting to half an hour now, which means it's going to take forever to upload. So I shall finish up now, and hope that you have a really lovely knitty month ahead. And if you're getting autumnal changes, which we are here, enjoy the oncoming knitwear season, and I will see you again really, really soon. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you again really, really soon. Bye.